Guys, what's going on? Thanks for stopping by. Zach here, undergroundstrength.tv and the Underground Strength Gym. Got a good Q&A here. Pull it up here on the emails coming in from David. I'm going to break it down into two parts. This first question is pretty cool. It's about the success of strength coaches that I interview on the Strong Life podcast. He said, what kind of success do you see with trainers that did not do or excel in their sports in high school or college? It seems like all the trainers you've interviewed were at one time successful athletes themselves. I'm just wondering, and it's something you might want to address in a future podcast. I want to do this in this YouTube video because right now I'm working on a book, we're making it flow better. I'm working with John Welborn, who played 10 years in the NFL, and that's the prime of the prime, the highest of the high. Working with Travis Mash on that book. Travis Mash was a world record holder, the world champion powerlifter in the 220-pound weight class. He was also a Division I football player at only 5'7". Now then you have me contributing to the book. In high school, I was plagued with a lot of injuries. My knee started coming up with these kind of recurring issues. I recall it swelling up to the size of a softball. I was not a successful high school athlete. Although I worked extremely hard, I didn't know how to train properly. I didn't have the right mental training. I didn't have the right mindset outlook. I didn't really start maturing until 19, even my early 20s, where I was truly ready to be more of a competitor who was really just pissed off and fired up to win, understood how to handle setbacks. I didn't have that in my younger years. And I was a little bit young. I went to college at age 17. Nowadays, we see a lot of sophomores in high school who are 17. And there's plenty of 18-year-old juniors and 19-year-old seniors. And I think that to be a great coach, number one, the past is the past. There's that saying, I don't recall who said it, but if you're living in the past, you're stressed. If you're living in the future, you've got anxiety. And if you're living in the now, in the present, you are at peace with yourself. And I used to be very stuck, on the past due to regret. But here's the thing about me. Why am I a successful strength coach? Number one, it's the results. It's what we provide for the athletes. It's the life changing that we give them. It's just unmatched by others. That's number one. Number two, when people are seeking out our training, there are certainly some people that are wondering what is or what was maybe his background, but people are confused with that, meaning somebody recently asked me, hey, you own the Underground Strength Gym? What, did you go to college or something for that? My degree in health and phys ed or your degree in exercise science is about this much critical to your success as a strength coach. The learnings that I got came from all my experience of training myself since 1989, training around countless others. I've been training people on an almost daily basis since probably 2002, and then even dating back to my first training job in 1995. Even though I was primarily helping and training adults, they would also bring in their kids who are oftentimes high school athletes, and I would teach them how to train. So I understand the technique. I understand what it really takes. I've been in the fads and the gimmicks and getting tricked and duped into all that bullshit. And the 10,000 hour rule, I surpassed that over a decade ago with training athletes so much. So I think your ability to provide results is clutch. On the flip side, there have been often times where a parent will say, oh, he's lifting at school. Okay, well, they serve cheeseburgers at McDonald's, but they also serve, cheeseburgers at this 5-star restaurant in New York City. A cheeseburger is not a cheeseburger. A squat is not a squat. This is why I always say, why do certain football teams win and lose? They all have football coaches. They all have a football. They all have a football field. They all have the same equipment. It's the coaching that is different. Same thing with wrestling. Same thing with baseball. They all have a ball, a glove, and a bat, and coaches, and a baseball field. It's the coaching. that will build those athletes into who they will become, what they will become. So that's step number one. You want to be a great coach, provide results. Louis Simmons always says, weak is weak and strong is strong. And that brings me to my point. You can't fake strong and you can't fake results. So a lot of people, their website might look great or they do a great job at marketing, but are you building badasses? Are you building ass-kicking athletes? And how many of them are you building, transforming, and how often and how long have you been doing it for? And that's the ticket. Now, some of the things that might come kind of into play with that is parents, and a parent myself, there's certain things that they will also look for. They're looking for convenience. Not everybody's looking for excellence. Convenience and excellence are never found on the same road anyway. But not everybody wants to be awesome and great. Many people are completely happy with good enough and what's 5 minutes closer and $50 cheaper. And I learned that lesson years ago when I trained a wrestler, and I remember he had like 2 or 3 wins and something like 20-something losses. Let's say he was 3-23. The next year he went something like 24-3. I mean, complete 180. And guess what? A strength coach opened up near him. The dad took his son and left, and the coach was like, why would you take your son somewhere else when your son couldn't even walk and chew bubble gum? Zach and his trainers, they changed your son's life. And when I spoke to the dad about it, he goes, listen, it's 5 minutes closer. It's 5 minutes closer and $50 cheaper. I couldn't pass it up. And I said, wow, you could change somebody's life. But let me tell you something. There is a certain power and mindset to people who just want something close to home, who just want something cheaper. I've had people in BMWs and Range Rovers ask me if I could discount it $50 a month, and then they'll be in. Really, motherfucker? Your car must cost you $600 a month, and you're worried about $50 a month that you probably wipe your butt with anyway? So, to be a great strength coach, you can't give a shit about the past. That is over. It is now. So develop and build on your knowledge. Every single day get better and give the athletes all your heart. And when you genuinely care, you will keep getting better and better and better. The knowledge and the amount of studying I've done is like exploding out of my ears and my brain. And that's what it takes, the relentless pursuit of excellence. So I was not in the NFL. I was not a Division I athlete. I never wrestled in college. I wanted to. They cut the program. Too bad, so sad. My motherfucking fault. But you want to know what? I'm in the here. I'm in the now. And I know what we could do for athletes at the Underground Strength Gym. And when you have a confidence like me, you can't fake that shit. It comes from the doing of the damn thing. From giving it all you got and changing the lives of athletes. And that's when you will come up with the belief in yourself. So don't worry about what you did or didn't do. And don't worry about what people think. Prove it with results. You can't fake results. That's the bottom line. And of course, what am I going to tell you to do? Get Underground Strength Coach certified. Go to undergroundstrengthcert.com. Blow up those knowledge bombs, baby. Expand your knowledge. Read. Go through my podcast. Go through my blog from top to bottom. Go through the Underground Strength Academy. Don't stop gaining your knowledge and just experimenting and applying. As soon as you think you're smart enough, good enough, you are done and dead in the water as a coach. And in fact, I tell coaches, you don't deserve to coach when you think you're good enough because you expect greatness from the athletes. So you should never accept good enough from yourself. Click the like button, subscribe, share it out with any friends who need to see this. Thanks for your time. Much respect, guys.